Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Emily Horler and I'm here with Erik Zingmark and Patrik Havander of Nordea, and we're at Cybos 2016 in Geneva. Thank you both for joining me.
Thanks. Thank you.
How is digitalisation changing customer needs, and how do you think banks need to respond?
Well, digitalization is creating a marketplace where customers' needs are changing. They are expecting omni-channel, 24/7, richer information, simpler solutions. And the way banks need to respond is, first of all, to listen to the customers. And not only the corporate customers, the financial institutions, but also the consumers. Because the consumers have a very strong position in deciding next generation technology. So listen and collaborate is very important for banks.
Patrik, open banking will bring fundamental changes to the industry. What do banks need to do to stay relevant?
I think open banking is probably the best thing that has happened in the banking community. And we see great opportunities in the open banking landscape. However, there are some questions that still needs to be answered. The open banking landscape will put tremendous stress on the system. The amount of transactions per second will be millions instead of thousands, and that needs to be handled, of course, and that is a discussion that needs to be held. In Nordea's case, we have taken the steps a number of years ago to replace the core banking system, to replace the payment platform, and also to replace the data warehousing. So we are in a good shape to take on this open banking landscape. What we need to realize is to be an attractive platform for developers, for fintechs. And in that sense, we need to collaborate with them and treat them like clients, more or less, in order for them to stay with us and not somewhere else, in order to be able to, deliver interesting value propositions. Then we have the discussion about shortened time to market. That will indeed happen, but I think banks, it's not just a technical question. We need to rethink how we work with the client and the customer base, because we cannot just cement and digitize processes and relations that has looked the same for 30 years. There are new ways of doing things. To challenge ourselves in that interface, that is extremely interesting. And overall, I think for banks to utilize their assets in a much better way, this open API landscape will create totally new ways, and will also make banking attractive for younger people. I think banking will be a funky place to work in a couple of years.
When it comes to fintechs, do you think banks should collaborate or compete?
Well, the thought about competition with fintechs is already in the museums. Collaboration is key, both in between banks, but for sure with fintechs. I think we have started to realize what our respective strengths are, and of course we should collaborate, because if we don't bring the value to the end customer.
Can I add something there? I think there will be different levels of collaboration, because some fintechs we want to collaborate more with, and where we more have a vetting process, where we can build closed open API groups and where we can build strong value propositions, whereas with others, we need to share the information that we have to due to regulatory environment. But I mean, the general ambition is, of course, what Erik says.
What are the barriers to collaboration, and how are they being addressed?
I think, both parties, so to speak, have their challenges when it comes to collaboration. Banks need to be more open, more transparent, more forward-leaning, but fintechs also need to understand the industry, understand why there is something called compliance, understand why banks have behaved the way they have behaved. So a better understanding of the two parties is very important as a foundation for that collaboration. I think it's more or less that, because both parties want to collaborate, but has not necessarily found the optimal way of doing it yet.
And that goes also for how the banks are addressing the dialogue today. We have a sales dialogue that is taking place here with the customers, and then we have an IT process that is taking place here, and there is very little connection between them. And we are working in verticals here, and here we need to see how we can work more on a horizontal levels and really trying to understand each other's agenda. That is of key importance.
And if I may add, I mean, banking is now in disruption in the sense that we are facing the same challenges as the music industry, photography, other industries have faced, telecom. It's fantastically exciting. And I think the one that will see most value of what we face now is the customer, the consumer, because we will bring better services, quicker to market and simpler services than the industry has been able to do before. So it's really exciting times.
Erik, Patrik, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching.